In case we never get to the event, I'll show you basically the process, and unless robots do something really weird to hurt me, because that's a puppet, I think it's a puppet or something, I forgot, well, let me just make sure. But as you can see here, just a little time skip in what I was basically tweaking. I think this is the most I've done in the past 24 hours, and aside from whatever else you see, whether it's small little typo changes or whatnot, then yeah, because there were a few typos still in the mystery because I haven't been reading during recordings. But as we randomize our run, so what I've done here really quickly, and I'll explain again after the timestamp, but what I've done here really quickly is that I've basically removed a lot of custom events aside from what I want to release, and that's probably all I really need to say, and I can explain later on. So, for timestamp's sake, as we get into Goizo Exquisite Taste random item stats, Hiriko again. I swear it won't take much longer, but this is essentially what I have should be what or near enough what I'm going to be throwing somewhere. I don't know where to throw it exactly. I mean, I do know where I would probably throw all of this stuff, but I'll explain in a moment. Dexterity, second, light, Takshisan, every single non-stat check, and maybe a strength check, which would be perfect for this character. But the most important thing is, yeah, I probably need to bundle up all of the perm content with the mystery and the character just to be certain, because it's not like you can call upon it anyway, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to use the library notes. I'm pretty sure I made change it. That's a really nice spell, by the way. Let me finish what I want to say, game. I've pretty much changed the Ito file so that you can't say get cranial fracture off of random spell pools. You cannot get, say, the mysterious axe and have it get sold anywhere in any shop. And if so, then it's a bug. Also, what was really unfortunate is that we got both mysteries on the same mystery, but I could reroll mystery. You know what? Yeah, for the sake of showing... Oh, that's right. These don't reroll, so I have to just live with what I've got. Well, I think this is the first reroll I've done in a long video, but Ward Metamorphosis Festival, we'll do EX because we're playing as Hiriko. Really, there's not much of a change, and in fact, you get more playing as Hiriko, but in case you want to immerse yourself and play as another character, But, I didn't mean that to be like kind of a motivation down noise, but we will be taking Hiriko last because we should be able to survive to the end of the run. Again, handcuff tech makes Hiriko with the axe and this skill really, really powerful, but... And I think I'm going to stick with that naming convention, because I know I've been flip-flopping around, not calling... Oh my goodness, hospital and village. I guess we'll just do village. I think force is like high threat level, right? Nope. So Seaside, I'm going crazy. Anywho, let me talk. But, handcuff tech. I completely forgot what I was trying to mention. Handcuff tech. Also, let me know if my mic or game audio is too loud or too low. You know what I also forgot to do? Switch the palettes, because there was something I needed to change. But those are small, as I mentioned before I don't need to use cranial fracture. As I mentioned before the timestamp, I believe, I will make small adjustments, probably any typos I catch, and then probably a color change, because I accidentally used other 2-bit colors, even though I'm supposed to be using the two purple palettes. And if you don't know what I mean, to explain it really quickly, when you're making custom content, and specifically graphics or images for custom content, you do use certain palettes so that they get turned by the game into another color if you are using it. I don't know if you can see it. I think here, right? Yeah, first palette. Actually, we can switch it here. So we'll switch the palettes now. Ow, my eyes! The reason why, and I know I haven't explained in a while, but the reason why I don't play with different palettes is because literally my eyes, there's nothing wrong with my eyes, but like, for some reason, playing World of War specifically, it just, yeah, it hurts for some reason. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it does kind of, I wouldn't say it makes my eyes vibrate. Let's just say it kind of makes my brain feel fuzzy a little bit. And if it were just my mind and not liking a palette, that I normally am not the type of person to do that, it would actually have to have a physical effect, and this kind of has a physical effect on me. But that's why I picked the color. Like, I'm not going to play on Monolith. That actually makes my eyes kind of spin, to use a metaphor. They're not literally spinning, but you get the point. Metamorphosis Ward, by the way, so we do want to try and pick up the thingy, which we left Monument, so never mind. I also just happen to like Jaguar color the most. I think that's named after the system, question mark? Hey, I'm not a true gaming fan, but you get the point. But if you don't know what I mean, just I guess you can just look it up yourself. Literally go look it up. But because I forgot what I was trying to say, and since we can't get the hospital pass, we'll move on. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was cranial. I think it was cranial fracture. I forgot. Nah, I remembered it as I was talking about something completely different. I often do that in case you're newer to this channel. But anywho, also if you see another video, this is not the video I was mentioning earlier, and it's not anything with game dev. But if you see another video for a game, it's because if you are a person who plays this game, you'll know that this game is on sale. Right, Cult of the Lamb. It's Cult of the Lamb. I didn't want to. I don't usually like to drop names for the sake of just keeping things clean. That's really just a me rule. But also we do want to cranial fracture this. But I was trying to remember because I was specifically I specifically mentioned handcuff tech, and then I forgot what I was going to. I guess I forgot. And this is also going to be the case for things that I remember, or that I mentioned that I wanted to talk about later on, direct quote, and then I forget. But at least I don't run out of things to talk about. Anywho, moving on. So, those sold for 0 funds. I'm completely autopiloting right now. Yeah, off we go. Probably into ward. Yeah, into ward. We have handcuffs, so we can handcuff tech. I probably... Basically, because we're essentially working with base World of Horror content to explain that. So yeah, I removed all custom events except for perm-specific items, which you'll never get because I made it so that you'll never get the mysterious axe, as I mentioned earlier, so on and so forth for other things. But more importantly, for leaving mysteries and taking out events means I can kind of look at base World of Horror alongside what I've added in. And as I mentioned before, it's pretty powerful, especially for enemies that you can just do that and you don't have to do handcuff tech. So there's no pressure trying to use cranial fracture before a thing. But so I wanted to mention is the topic of, oh my goodness, I just forgot again. Why do I do this to myself? I'll remember soon. I know it was really kind of not important, but I really wanted to talk about it. And yes, I am stalling for time trying to remember, but I guess I won't. So we'll just go on. Why do I forget this, by the way? Anywho, I think we are able to cranial fracture this. So this is if you're using the latest version of Perm. If you try this on base World of Horror, it will not work, basically. Shrug. So, as we have the steak knife, I think we can actually just defeat this enemy without the handcuffs. So, it was not what I wanted to talk about, but yes, again, I've mentioned before, and I'll keep mentioning it because it keeps being prevalent. Yeah, handcuff tech with cranial fracture as a skill works out. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was skills, basically. Why I call them skills. So, the reason why I say that is because you can actually set perm-specific Ito files to basically exclude themselves from item pools and whatnot. So essentially you can create another genre of things, basically. And in another sense, spells can effectively spells can become anything you want them to be. But at the same time, they do still have some limitations. An example is the spell limit, so they are still classified as spells for holding, but you could throw anything else you want there, theoretically speaking. So for example, you could just I call these skills, but that's my own definition of what I'm talking about for my custom content. You could just make anything else. You could say you have extra quote-unquote items that you give to a custom character, and not just give it to the character's Ito file, like literally give to an event. This is going to be relevant because I was planning to do a small Valentine's Day World of Horror thing. It won't be totally unique in terms of graphics because I don't have enough time to make graphics, even though I probably will do some things. But basically, you can do a lot, and I'll show you how. But that will happen later as I just get this out. If in another sense, basically making this mystery for Hiriko is both a kind of a look into what I want to do with my own custom characters, if nothing else, but and others if creators will allow, because there are more than a few characters that have come out that I was actually planning to make, and they already came out. But yeah, aside from just mysteries as well, it's also just, I guess it is practice for Perm plugin related content and just custom content in general. I haven't really made a mystery before. In fact, this would be my first mystery that I would release. So Shrug. Now, at the same, no, I'm not gonna say that. But moving on. Yeah, I did want to do a special Valentine's Day thing. So as we enter Hiriko as our last mystery, again, the EX denotes that you should be playing as Hiriko, but I'll probably make that the default because so what often will do, a creator might do, is that they'll add in files where they won't automatically be used if you just drag and drop them. Obviously, to some extent, obviously, at a certain point, if you play with custom content in World of Horror, then you will kind of mess around with directories and eto files instead of just extracting a zip file or just dropping custom content files directly into where they should go. Which, to note, at this point, I should also mention that it is a very common mistake to put custom content in the wrong place. It wouldn't seem like it for anyone who started using custom content in World of Horror and has used it for a while, but it actually is. I think I forgot if I made the mistake before or if I just looked things up. Nice 12 roll, by the way, game. But, yeah, kind of rewinding back a bit, I do want to make it so that you just drag and drop, which is why when I give you the 2 mysteries, I'll probably just add a note somewhere and in a README file somewhere as well with with the mystery and the custom content. Oh, that's what I want to mention, but I'll have to remember that later. Yeah, I wanted to add in everything so that you can just drag and drop so that there's not too much time. So we could theoretically take this in the face, but to avoid taking too much damage, because this will end up losing me the run, I guess we're just going to gamble here. 85%. Okay, good. But, on top... Oh, nice badly bleeding, by the way. We do have Book of Gore, but... is this real, by the way? I think this is real. Yeah, this is real. This should be 18. And just to kind of show it off here... Oh, never mind. It's not real. Well, it's a good thing I option selected that. But, I think I forgot what I wanted to say. Well, hopefully I remember before the end of the video, which is coming up soon. But, yeah, so I am planning to release all of this. I think the perm specific things and pretty much everything that I've made is going to go on Nexus Mods ? But then I have to figure out how to basically arrange everything, so I guess I'll figure it out. We do have badly bleeding, by the way, so this is going to be an interesting Lighthouse Ascension. But in the meanwhile, we'll heal Reason here because we need to heal Reason. I could also just rest a bunch. Yeah, you know what? No reason not to. Unless badly bleeding procs every single time, we should be relatively okay. Yeah, I completely forgot. Why don't I just remember things? Help. But, let's see here. I forgot. Metamorphosis, ? Yeah. Why did I take Anywho. I'm really forgetting what I wanted to talk about. I don't remember anything, so we're just going to pick because we have all the Doom in the world. We have a nice amount of Doom that is not nice anymore. And also to mention, yes, I've also seen what happened in the Discord. And for those who don't know, basically, well, the developer did promise that at least an announcement was going to be made in January. And as you know, right, today is, well, for some people today, at the time of me recording this, it's the 31st. But otherwise, it's 30 for those in America. And I forgot what I was going to say, so hopefully I'll remember. But it's probably only relevant to this episode because I'm about to release everything. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. If you have anything to say, any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, then please let me know. Otherwise, I have to switch this palette back because that's right. That'll happen. And I'll see you in the next video. The next video. Bye!